activities, you'll find the answers in here, but for the most part, the information will come from what I say to you, okay? Now, I know that Australians speak, I know Australians speak really quickly, so I'm going to do my very best instead of trying to speak slowly for you guys. If I'm speaking too fast though, just put your hand up and let me know, okay? And I'll say it again and try to slow it down, okay? Before we start, I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about me. So I come from a small town that's about 2 hours south of Sydney. It's called Kiama, and it's known for having lots of beaches. So do you guys go to the beach much here?
Yes.
Yeah? Where's your closest beach? 200 kilometres away. So my closest beach is about 1 kilometre. I can walk there in about less than 10 minutes, and it's great. We get to go swimming and surfing, and you need to do that because it gets really, really, really hot in Australia. Today, when people woke up this morning, it was 35 degrees Celsius when they woke up. Yesterday, somebody sent me a photo of it being 51, which is very hot. So yeah, we're very used to the heat. I'm not used to the cold. This is quite cold for me. I think you're coming down with the flu because of it. Okay, so let's start the lesson, all right? So what we're going to be looking at today is how did World War II begin? And when we think about World War II, what we often think about is the rise of Hitler. We think about Japan being super aggressive in Asia and starting to make their way through what was then Indochina and make their way down to the Pacific. But when we think about the start of World War II, often we have to go back and look at how World War I ended in order for World War II to kind of ramp up. So what we tend to do is we blame the Allies, the US, England, France, and the Russians. Does anyone know why we blame those people for the start of World War II? Yeah. You stand up. Very good. Yes. Thank you very much. When we look at the start of World War II, we go all the way back to the Treaty of Versailles. Now today, when we are looking at World War II, we're going to look at how the events of World War I assisted in the beginning of World War II, that was the Treaty of Versailles, how the Nazi Party came to power, who was Adolf Hitler, the moments before World War II began, and Japanese aggression towards China. Do we know who this man is? Anyone know who he is? Put your hand up if you know the answer for me. Okay. Georges Clemenceau was the leader of France at the time. He was the French president. And after the end of World War I, Germany didn't surrender. Now we talk about Germany because their allies, consisted of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Now Italy decided towards the end of the war, we're going to swap sides. We've had enough of losing, we're going to go onto the Allies. Austria-Hungary, which was one very complex, large superpower at the time, it kind of fell away and it fell into a bunch of other countries. And so Germany was the last man standing. And so the Allies said, hey Germany, we're going to blame you for all of the things that happened in World War I. Even though you didn't start the war, even though you just happened to be one of the people on that team, we're still going to blame you because you're the last person there. And so Georges Clemenceau said, we've won the war, but now we have to win the peace, and it may be more difficult. Why do we think the peace might be more difficult than the war? That's okay. So what he's talking about is how the Germans were going to be imposed. They're going to have a lot of really, really harsh things happen to them now. The Allies were going to make sure that Germany could not go to war again in the future. And so that's what happened at the Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles was a treaty that was signed by Germany, and it said, we are the reason that World War I happened, and we agree that these following restrictions are going to occur to us. So there were four major ones, four major restrictions. And the four major restrictions, can I get you to open your workbooks for me? So if you have your book you write in, can you open that for me, please? And write the heading, so write the heading, the start of World War II for me, okay? Yeah, can you lend him a piece of paper, please? Could you lend him a piece of paper or give a book? Fantastic. So write the heading at the start of World War II. And then under that, I want you to write Treaty of Versailles. Right? So the heading is the start of World War II, and under that, the Treaty of Versailles. And what we're going to do is write down the various restrictions that occurred to Germany, because they're very important. These restrictions is what started World War II. So you need to remember them. That's why we're going to write them down, okay? So the top, that heading, and then we're going to have a subheading, which is the Treaty of Versailles. Has everybody got that down? Yeah? Okay. Now, does anybody in here know one of the restrictions that occurred? You like World War II, don't you? Yes. Yes? Stand up for me, mate. What was one of the restrictions that occurred? Germany weren't allowed to have tanks, that's correct. So, thank you. Can we have a clap again, please? So one of the restrictions was the German army was restricted. So, first one that I want you to write, number one, is German army restricted. So the German army, it was once a very proud, very large army. It had millions and millions of troops. Now they've been reduced. They're only allowed to have 100,000 men. Now think about that. A country as large as Germany, and they're only allowed to have 100,000 men. They're no longer as, what's your name, sorry? Now? As Now said, they weren't allowed to build any new tanks. So no more tanks. They weren't allowed to have any airplanes. So no more airports. They were allowed to have 10 battleships only. So think about that. If you're going to go to war for in the future, do you think you'll be able to fight other countries if you only have 10 ships and 100,000 men? No. You couldn't possibly. Countries like France, countries like England, countries like Russia and the US, they have millions of troops. They have tanks, they have airplanes, they have submarines, they have ships. And here's Germany with 100,000 men and just 10 ships. So the idea was, if you restrict their army, they can't go to war anymore. The second one, and this is the big one, that's what we call the War Guilt Clause. The War Guilt Clause meant that Germans weren't completely responsible for World War I. It means that they were told, you are the reason it happened, and they hated this. Because they knew that in their mind, or in their minds, they didn't start World War I. They were just a participant in World War I. So why should they be responsible for the entire war? And when Hitler comes to power later, he uses this to his advantage. He says, we never lost the war, we never started the war, we were stabbed in the back. We were stabbed in the back by the politicians who signed this, the ones who signed the Treaty of Versailles and said that we did it. The third one is that territories controlled by Germany, so land controlled by Germany, were given to their neighbouring countries of France, Belgium, Denmark, Poland, and the Czechoslovakia, which is now the Czech Republic and Slovakia. So let's say number 3 is territory lost. Germany was considerably bigger than it was at the end of World War I. It was huge. Germany had land that was controlled by Poland, it had land that was controlled by Austria-Hungary, it had land that was controlled by everybody. It also had places like in Asia, it had Nauru, which is a little island, and they were using that to manufacture ammunition and try and have a presence in the Pacific. Now Nauru, when that was given to another country, it was given to Australia. And we now use Nauru to place anybody who comes and tries to seek asylum, and we don't want them in our country, we place them on Nauru. So, Germany has lost a considerable amount of land. And as a smaller state, they can no longer produce things like oil, because the lands that had a lot of oil on them were now given to the French. The fourth one is the League of Nations was formed. Do we know what the United Nations is? The United Nations is, in the modern times, instead of going to war and fighting, we have the United Nations, where countries go to argue and to place restrictions on other countries to try and avoid going to war. That's what the League of Nations was. The League of Nations was the first attempt. Woodrow Wilson said, it was a bit of a Jesus figure, he wanted to hug it out instead of going to war. And he said, instead of going to war all the time, let's have a League of Nations where we go and argue. The issue with the League of Nations is it didn't work. When Japan invaded China, just prior to World War II, the Japanese officials turned up to the League of Nations, and everybody at the League of Nations were like, what are you doing? Why are you invading China? And the Japanese leader at the time, he got up on the podium and he said, we are going to continue with our invasion of China. Thank you. And then he got off the stage and walked off. The League of Nations couldn't do anything about it. What were they going to do? Because it was complete, it was this idea, but they didn't have any power. So they couldn't force Japan to stop invading. So these are the 4 main points of the Treaty of Versailles. Now we're going to look at Adolf Hitler. Now, after the Treaty of Versailles, the Great Depression happened. Oh, wait. We forgot one. Number 5. Germany must pay $33 billion USD. They had to pay back, in 1919, $33 billion US dollars. They didn't have that money. They haven't had that for a long time. In fact, they only finished repaying this in 2008. That is how long it took them to find this money and repay it. What happened after World War I is that with this money and them having to try and repay it, Germany started to go into a bit of a crisis. And the way that they were going to think about repaying this money was by printing more banknotes. The issue with printing more banknotes is that the value of your money goes down. So the more money you have, but the less you have in the banks, means that the value of your dollar, or the value of your money, goes down.